Namaste. Good evening. This is Dr. Aparna. I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist. I act as a catalyst to your emotional healing journey. So, I am an emotional healing synergist. I am a medical writer and an infopreneur. So, in my pursuit to address, promote, and propagate Ayurveda and psychotherapy globally, I come up with discussions or speak on topics related to Ayurveda, mental health, psychotherapy, and psychology related topics. I also do book reviews on neuroscience and self help mental health books. So, in continuation to the previous session, where we were discussing on Ayurveda and Ayurvedic concept of mind and how it is relevant to today's modern world. So, today we are going to discuss interdependence of mind and body. That means psychosomatic interdependence. So, we are also going to discuss functions of mind and modern correlation. So, usually I very frequently I get asked on when I always speak about brain and psychotherapy. People ask me about Ayurvedic aspect of mind. So here is the series on that. If you want to watch the previous session, that is available both in LinkedIn and YouTube. So this is the second session on Ayurvedic concept of mind. So without delaying, let's get started. So see, when I talk of interdependence of body and mind, that means psychosomatic interdependence. So what is that? That means body and mind both are interrelated and interdependent. If you have watched the previous session, you would have known that we discussed on body gut axis, neuroendocrine axis. So, how mind is related to the digestive system, how mind is related to the reproductive system, how mind is related to the sleep. So, here in Ayurveda, the prevention and maintenance of health is given prime importance in Ayurveda. After that, curative aspect. So, prevention and maintenance. So, for that, both physical and mental factors are equally important because the mind acts in conformity with the body and the body acts in conformity with the mind. That means the body follows the mind and the mind follows the body. This is, said by Acharya Charaka um, in Ayurveda. So, these two, the body and the mind, both combinedly are the sites for happiness and misery, sukha and dukkha. So that means any somatic disorder affects the mind, and any mental disorder influences the body. That means body influences mind and mind influences body. So therefore, body and mind cannot be separated from each other. This is the approach of Ayurveda. Ayurveda sees the body as a whole. So, holistic approach to the preservation of health and management of the disease is essential according to Ayurveda. So, now the concept is we had also briefed on this. See, mind is not visible. Any kind of perception and functioning of sensory or motor organs is indicative of presence of mind. So, without mind executing as a mediator between the external as well as internal environment, soul does not acquire any perception. So, Ayurveda strongly proposes mind, that is Manas, as a chief convener of all external and internal stimuli, to body, and a mediator for motor reactions to all these stimuli. So, that means, in simple, if I have to simplify this, so if Manas is not doing its duty, that means if mind is not doing its duty, nothing is perceived, we cannot perceive anything. So mind is the seat of pleasure, sukha, and dukkha. So understanding the concept of mind is important, because balanced state of mind is the ultimate source of health. So, here, according to Ayurveda, mind, manas, soul, atma, body, sharira are the tripod on which the life depends. So, both body and mind are the resort of pleasure and disorders. So here, this is as per Ayurveda. So what does modern science, modern medicine has to say about this? So modern science has started now to emphasize on the concept of mind and psychosomatic disorders. It has started it from the last century. So, but however, Ayurveda has realized the importance of concept of mind in maintaining health of an individual thousands of years ago. The same thing Ayurveda has said thousands of years ago. So, here, as I said, mind is a mediator for both the sensory organs and the motor organs. So, in Ayurveda, the sensory sense organs are called Jnanendriya, and motor organs are called Karmendriya. So, Manas in Ayurveda is called Ubhayendriya, because it is the mediator for both the senses and the sensory perception and motor perception. So this is also, this also can be correlated to modern science. So because modern science also believes the same. So mind is stimulating sensory organs to perceive knowledge, and it controls actions of karmendriya after analyzing the knowledge obtained by sensory organs. So I will explain with an example. See, when we eat a chocolate, that means, for example, when we eat chocolate. So when a person is eating chocolate, the person perceives a sweet taste of that chocolate. So according to Ayurveda, it is the mind which helps us understand, perceive, and analyze the sweet taste of chocolate. So, mind, if I have to define mind, Ayurveda says it is avabuddhya. That means knowledge or understanding. That means entity which makes a person knowledgeable is manas or mind. So, So when we talk of the characteristic features of mind, what are how is mind perceived according to Ayurveda? So to perceive the knowledge or not to perceive the knowledge indicates the presence or absence of mind. So we can say presence of mind when we can perceive the knowledge, and absence of mind when we are not able to perceive the knowledge. So this is a characteristic feature of mind. As I already said, mind is a mediator for both sensory perception and motor perception. So mind is called Ubhayendriya in Ayurveda. That means it is a mediator for both. Ubhaya is both. So mind stimulates sensory organs to perceive knowledge, and it controls actions of karmendriya, that is motor organs or motor perception, after analyzing the knowledge obtained by sensory organs. So I have discussed n number of times regarding the sharirika dosha, that means vata, pitta and kapha. According to Ayurveda, the physical sharira dosha like vata, pitta and kapha carry various functions related to the psyche. So, the Sharirika doshas, the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, also are involved in functions related to the mind, that is psyche. So, these Sharira doshas also directly influence the psyche. And Ayurveda also believes that Vata is considered as the primary dosha to influence mental activities. So, Vata is the controller, Vata is the motivator, and Vata is the regulator of all the mental activities. So, when we talk of characteristic feature of mind, next comes the karma, the functions of mind. What are the functions of mind? That means manas, according to Ayurveda, plays a crucial role in bridging the gap between Atma, self, and the Sharira, body. So, mind acts as the central processor, influencing how we perceive information, how we interpret information, how we interact with the world around us. This is all done by, mind. So, it acts as a central processing unit, a central processor. So, understanding mind's functions helps us dive deeper into the mind body connection. So, what does it do? In Ayurveda, it is called Indriya Abhigraha. That means Manas controls all the sensory and motor faculties of. That means mind is the prime motivator and controller of all the sense organs. The sensory and the motor organs work only in the presence of an active mind. So the mind is the driving force for the perception of external world to cognitive and, conative senses. So here basically indriya abhigraha is mind controls all the sensory and motor faculties. Next function of brain is swasya nigraha. That means self restraint or self control. So mind controls and restrains itself from harmful activities. That means mind is a regulator and coordinator of its own activities. So this function of self restraint is essential in preservation of health and management of diseases. That means the unwholesome or wholesome regimen is followed or unfollowed by an individual due to self restraining capacity of the mind. That means you can, follow a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle if you have a self restraint of mind, or you can follow an unhealthy diet and unhealthy lifestyle if you do not have a self restraint. So here the conquest of mind, that is sattva vajaya therapy, that is what I do. So sattva vajaya therapy here is, restraining the mind from harmful objects. This is the traditional form of psychotherapy. So sattva vajaya chikitsa involves or includes training of the mind to avoid harmful things or harmful objects. So meditation, mindfulness exercises, pranayama, yoga, all these practices. So these are involved in self restraint. Next function of brain is uha. Uha means hypothesis or logical interpretation. So, mind can postulate and a hypothesis and interpret it logically. So, how the strength of the mind is applied to innovate, discover. create new things. So all this is we are able to, innovate things, discover things, create new things because of the mind. So mind is, that is because of the logical interpretation of mind. That means mind is logically applied to make a conjuncture about the possible outcome in a given situation. So the next function of mind is vichara. That means consideration and thinking. So vichara means mind can think and analyze between right and wrong, correct or incorrect, useful or harmful things. So the mind can justify reasons, ascertain possibilities, seek proof or evidence. So all this mind can do, the justification we do, and come to we analyze between the right and wrong, and we seek proof or evidence. Everything is because of the consideration and thinking ability of the mind. Next function of the mind is dhyaya. So that is called attention and meditation. So attending various sensory objects and processing them to acquire knowledge. So concentration and meditation. The focus is due to the mind. Focus and, the processing of the sensory perception to acquire knowledge, that is an essential function of the mind. So here sankalpa, the mind can resolve a situation or take a willful decision. Sankalpa is a resolution or taking a decision. The ability to take a decision is the function of the mind. So determination towards a goal, that is also, is a function of mind. So the intellect, that is buddhi, it is called buddhi in Ayurveda, is superior cognitive faculty over the mind. So it acts further on the raw data submitted by the mind. Then that means whatever the data mind submits, the buddhi, the intellect, is a superior cognitive faculty over the mind. So Ayurveda also, defines the relationship between manas and buddhi. So what is buddhi? After what manas does, it perceives the information, the sensory information into a information. And what buddhi does is, decision making capacity of an individual is called buddhi. So how the buddhi decides? So there are three factors involved here: dhi, dhriti and smriti. So dhi is deciding and analyzing. So the analyzing part is called dhi. So what is right and what is wrong is analyzed by dhi. That is, uh, the analysis part is done by dhi. Next is dhriti. Dhriti is the power which controls the mind from doing the wrong thing. And Smriti is to recall past experiences. That is called Smriti. So, three factors which are involved in Buddhi are, in decision making, are Dhi, Dhriti, and Smriti. So, um, these are, this is about the functions of the Manas, and it's and the relation between manas and buddhi, and the interdependence of manas and sharira, that it means the body and the mind. So in the next session we will see, some of the functions of manas and its correlation to modern psychology. So that is it for today's session. Let me know what you think of the session in the comment section below. And if you have any queries, please do ask in the comment section. Thank you. Namaste for today.